Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to rank all 22 tracks in the F1 2020 game, excluding the weird short variations. So yeah, we're not taking anything from real life into consideration. This is just how much I enjoy the tracks in the F1 2020 game itself. So that includes driving around the circuit in Formula 1 and Formula 2, and yeah, just overall how much I enjoy the track and how much I look forward to going there. So we're starting off with number 22. The worst in my opinion, unfortunately, is the Hanoi Circuit, and the reason is I've just never really gelled with it. I find it quite annoying to drive around, and yeah, it obviously it's a new circuit, so it's going to take some getting used to, but yeah, I've just never been able to get used to it, and unfortunately yeah, it sits at the bottom of the list. But I will say in real life I would really love to see you know, the real Formula 1 cars go here. I think it would be quite interesting, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So yeah, number 21, we move on to Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, and unfortunately this whole circuit really just feels a bit awkward. You know, the first few corners are average, turn 4's good, but yeah, like turn 6, 7, 8, 9, that whole complex just... I mean, turn 7 and 8 is basically just turn 2 from Russia, in a way, just in the opposite direction, which just feels very awkward, and even less forgiving, I suppose, as there's grass on the exit. But even so, the last chicane as well, obviously, you know, that everyone complains about. But yeah, the whole circuit just feels awkward, very difficult to make any overtakes, and the tyre temperatures are absolutely impossible to control. So yeah, Catalonia 21. So number 20 is Monaco, and well, you could argue it's just because I'm not very good at it, and that would probably be fairly accurate. But in any case, I just don't enjoy this circuit. Yeah, one of my least favorite to head to every season. At least I suppose Catalonia in Formula 2 cars is okay, but yeah, the only thing I guess that puts Monaco ahead of Catalonia is probably the Nouveau chicane. Is one of the only corners I actually really enjoy on this circuit. Whereas Catalonia, there's really nothing that stands out to me. But yeah, Monaco, not a circuit I enjoy, unfortunately, so it will sit at number 20. So number 19, and this is probably kind of the inflection point of circuits I don't like to circuits that I think are probably just average, because this one is split right down the middle in the most literal way. The first sector is absolutely horrendous, and I really hate it, to be honest. But the final sector, everything after the back straight, is amazing. I love that section of track, even though you know, there's some sort of weirdly shaped corners and stuff. At least for me, I do find it quite nice, quite flowing, even though it is a bit slow in places. And yeah, I really enjoy the last sector. But yeah, unfortunately the first sector really drags this circuit down, and that's why it's all the way down in 19th. So number 18 is Zanvort, the newly revamped circuit in the Netherlands, and I'm glad we'll be able to see F1 in action there next year, unlike Hanoi, or it's this year now, isn't it? It's 2021. I have to get used to that. But as for Zanvort, took me a while to get used to it, as with any new circuit, but it is one that I have really come to enjoy, and I recently did a Formula 2 race there, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that race and the more recent career mode race I did there really sort of changed my opinion on this circuit, from being one of my least favorite to one I think I will enjoy potentially in the future games. Still, I'm not quite 100% familiar with the circuit, so there is there is that. I suppose there's a couple of awkward corners, but I think with a bit more time and practice, I think this can really become a circuit that I enjoy. So yeah, right now Zanvort is down in 18th, but I think it's got a lot of potential, and the bank corners are absolutely awesome as well. Number 17, the Yazmarina Circuit. So obviously the final round of the season, it has that I guess advantage to it, you know, having the title decider quite often at this circuit. But even besides that, I actually really enjoy this circuit. The last sector can be a bit awkward, and overtaking can either be too easy or too hard. But the real issue, I suppose, with this track, which was really highlighted in my most recent My Team episode at this circuit, was that it just is horrendous for tyre temperatures. The soft tyres are absolute garbage on this circuit. They do nothing, and well, it made the ending of the race quite boring, unfortunately. But yeah, because of just the tyre temperature issues around this circuit, it really drags it down, unfortunately, and yeah, that is why the Yazmarina Circuit is down in 17th. Number 16, Paul Ricard. Now, I find this one pretty hard to talk about because there's nothing inherently wrong with Paul Ricard, but there's nothing particularly fantastic about it either. So yeah, it's very kind of neutral. For me, it's just, it's not great, it's not terrible. Overtaking is decent. The corners are challenging enough, I suppose, but at the same time there's the massive runoffs. So yeah, I don't know, it's just, I guess, a bit of a nothing kind of track. For me, it's just another round, I suppose, of the championship. And yeah, Paul Ricard, number 16. So, number 15, the Hungaro Ring. And I'll start by saying, in previous games, this was one of the worst tracks in my opinion, but maybe even the worst. But yeah, in F1 2020, I've really started to enjoy this track, and I guess as maybe the handling model in F1 2020 just suits this track better. It was very understeery in F1 2019, and it was just it didn't feel very nice even when you got a lap together. But yeah, around the Hungaro Ring in this game, it feels very nice to drive. So yeah, it is now a pretty decent round. The only downside is that the overtaking is very, very difficult, but I suppose maybe that's just part of the challenge. It can't be easy at every circuit, I suppose. So yep, Hungaro Ring, 15th. So number 14 goes to the Circuit Jules Villeneuve. I potentially butchered that pronunciation, but we're not going to worry about that too much because we need to talk about the circuit itself, made up almost entirely of chicanes, which is impressive in itself. But as for the racing, it's got some good straights, definitely some good overtaking opportunities, I would say. It's not too easy to overtake, so that is a good thing. If you get a really good run out of the hairpin, you can make fairly easy overtakes, but at that point you need to have, much better tyre grip, for overtakes to be easy, and in that case it's, kind of a similar story for most tracks. But yeah, other than that, you can have some great battles around this circuit with the AI, and it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy the Canadian Grand Prix circuit, and that's why it's in 14th position. So number 13, this is where we get to the circuits that I'm actively looking forward to at each season, and the first of those is Baku. And while this circuit does have a few corners I really am not a fan of, the sort of right-left chicane after the castle section, and the final corner in the middle sector, really not that great, but the rest of the circuit is really, really nice. The castle section is a good little challenge, but it's not it's not kind of over the top in the way that Monaco is. So yeah, I like this circuit. Always great fun to battle the AI around this circuit. The straight is absolutely ridiculous, which in some ways is a good thing, to just have a mega long straight, but it can be very frustrating if you're trying to defend a position. It's near impossible, unless you're just going to go sending it into the first corner every time to try and retake the position, which we have done on several occasions. So you know, that's always a bit of fun too. And yeah, Baku is number 13 on my list. So number 12, the Sochi Autodromo. And well, while it's not the most loved circuit in real life, in the game I really enjoy it. The racing with the AI is always good. The straights are probably a little bit too long, but you can always have some good battles in through the corners, and it's always fun trying to make a move. You know, trying to carry the speed through turn 3, make a move into turn 4 is really quite a sort of a fun thing to try, especially in the Formula 2 cars. Are really awesome around this circuit. So yeah, Sochi Autodromo, number 12. So moving into the top half of the list now, and we're going to kick off with Shanghai. And this is a circuit I've actually known for a long time. It was in one of the old V8 Supercars games, V8 Supercars 3, way back in about 2005 or 6, I think that was released. So yeah, I've known this circuit for quite a long time, and I still feel like to this day that I get you know, some kind of advantage from that, just sort of knowing where all the corners are. I don't have to, you know, relearn the circuit every time I come here, like I would for, you know, a Hanoi or a Zanvort. But yeah, it is a lot of fun to drive around this circuit. The racing is always good. The back straight is very long, but it's not always easy to get a run out of the sort of flowing right-hander onto the back straight, so it's fine there, I think. So Shanghai, great circuit. So moving on into the top 10 now, we start that off with Silverstone, and I honestly used to like this circuit a lot more, but for one reason or another it just doesn't feel as nice on this year's game. And I think it's the sort of direction changes between Maggots and Beckett's. Just, I don't know, they just don't feel quite as easy, and yeah, it just feels very strange now in that section of track, and it's very hard to get a nice exit out of Beckett's and Chapel and onto the back straight. The Hangar straight, is that? Yeah, I think so. I always get them mixed up which one's which, but yeah, the circuit itself, the rest of it is very good, but yeah, it gets dragged down a little bit by just the way Maggots and Beckett's feels on this year's game. So 9th position goes to the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. No, not to be confused with the Yazmarina. Marina Bay, Yazmarina. Anyway, Marina Bay, 9th position. It's got a good mix of sort of technical sections and the very long straight that does have a slight right-hand bend in it, but yeah, that's a good overtaking opportunity, and obviously it's the first corner is possible as well. But yeah, I'm always surprised when I come to this circuit how much I actually enjoy racing around it. I have never actually tried a Formula 2 race here, so I'm going to do that at some point. But yeah, it's a good circuit, and it's one I've recently really started looking forward to. And of course, the weather can always be a little bit unpredictable here as well, and that is always an added bonus. Moving on to position number 8, we have the Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne. Obviously, maybe a little bit biased because it's my home race, but speaking completely honestly here, I really enjoy this circuit a lot more on F1 2020 than in the previous few games that I've played. And I can't really pinpoint exactly what changed, but the cars just feel nice around this circuit. and you can always have a few good battles through the first couple of corners and heading into the middle sector. I remember the very first race I did on this game, I had a great battle with Sergio Perez through the turn 3 and 4, but yeah, other than that though, the back straight is a little bit awkward with the fast chicane, which maybe drags the circuit down a little bit, but other than that, it's a mega circuit, and it's a great way to start the season every time, and really enjoy it. So moving into 7th position, we have the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, hopefully I pronounced that right, or the Brazilian Grand Prix, we'll just refer to it. But initially, I didn't really think a lot of this circuit in F1 2020 in the Formula 1 cars, but what really changed my mind is the race you're seeing in the background now. It's using the F2 2019 cars I'm driving as a Sede camera, and I just did a bit of a last to first challenge, just for myself, not specifically for a video. But yeah, I really enjoyed that particular race, and obviously I did it again with Felipe Drugovich when the F2 2020 cars came out, because I just really enjoyed driving the F2 cars around this circuit, and that's a big part of why the circuit is so high on this list, is because the F2 cars just felt amazing to drive around this circuit, and I was able to have some really great battles with the other cars. So coming in at number 6, we have the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. That's definitely not the pronunciation, probably, but we'll gloss over that. The Mexico City, Mexican Grand Prix, whatever it's called these days, that circuit, a lot of fun. It's another circuit I recognize from the old Codemasters V8 Supercars games, and again, that definitely helps, like with Shanghai. But on top of that though, it's a relatively short track. I do enjoy the short tracks a lot as well. Maybe it's because there's less corners to learn, the qualifying is always closer, you can get a bit more mixed up results on short circuits, but mostly it's just the racing with the AI is very good around this circuit. I like the addition of the stadium section over I guess the old version in the old V8 Supercars games, but that's not really a Codemasters thing, that's just an addition that F1 have done to the circuit. But yeah, a great circuit, and one of my favourite rounds, and quite often a title deciding round as well. So we can move in now into the top 5, and honestly I could put these 5 tracks in any given order on any given day, but we'll go with today, and number 5 is the Red Bull Ring. So what can we say about this track? It's a very short track, one of the shortest on the calendar outside of Monaco, I believe. But 10 corners, very simple layout. But nonetheless, it is a really fun track. And yeah, maybe again it's the short layout that helps with that. But in the end, though, you can have great battling with AI. There's 3 DRS zones which cover a large proportion of the circuit, and yeah, it's never hard to follow cars around this circuit. Tire temperatures aren't an issue, and it's just a very solid circuit all round, and always a lot of fun. Number 4 goes to the Bahrain International Circuit. So Bahrain, strangely I find this track hard to talk about because there's no particular standout corners other than maybe turns, I think 11 and 12 I think they are, but I don't know, it is just so much fun to race around this circuit. It's pretty easy, again, like Austria, to follow the other drivers around without getting too much dirty air and having to worry about your tire temperatures and all that sort of stuff too much. And the racing here is always very good. It's probably one of my best circuits versus the AI as well. So yeah, the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit, P4. Moving into the top 3 then, the bronze medal goes to the Suzuka International Racing course. Yeah, again, what can I say about it? It's Suzuka. It's one of those sort of circuits where, you know, every corner has a name, and that generally means it's a good track. But ignoring that perfectly logical explanation, it's a great circuit to drive. I've really come to enjoy it more and more with every new F1 game. And but the only sort of downside in the recent games is F1 2018, there would always be carnage at 130R, and at the first corner. F1 2019 they fixed 130R, and F1 2020 it seems they've fixed the first corner as well, so it's not as crazy as it used to be. You could always guarantee that something a little bit ridiculous would happen here, but I mean, in a way it's a good thing to see the, you know, clean racing between the AI, but it was always fun to see the crazy as well. But moving away from that though, it's an amazing circuit to drive through, you know, the first sector. It seems a bit strange that I enjoy the first sector here, but not at Circuit of the Americas, but I don't know, for some reason this one just feels a lot nicer. Maybe the corner radiuses are a bit more consistent, or I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, the Suzuka circuit, really nice, enjoy it. So moving into the top two now, the silver medal goes to the Spa circuit, and well, what can I say, Eau Rouge, Raidillon, Blanchimont, Pouhon, La Source, the Kemmel Straight, every part of this track is incredible, and yeah, I love this circuit. It's one of my favourite rounds, obviously, as being near the top of this list would indicate, and yeah, it's just amazing to race around this circuit. You get great battles with the AI, and it's only topped by one circuit, and of course the only one left, number one, the gold one, goes to Monza. And well, what can I say about this? Monza, the Temple of Speed, and well, there is certainly no denying that title, and it's just every time you go to Monza, you're guaranteed to get an amazing race, and yeah, I've never been disappointed with an Italian Grand Prix at Monza in any of the Formula 1 games, and let's just hope that continues. But yeah, Monza, the number one circuit for me in F1 2020. But yeah, other than that, that is it. So let me know what your favourite tracks are in the game, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. So thank you so much for watching to the end, and I will see you next time for more career mode and Formula 2 content as well. So thank you and goodbye.